guys, I hope you're having a great day. So I recently posted a video on kitchen updates where I just shared different projects and things I've been working on in our kitchen. And I mentioned I had a table I wanted to redo for by the back door. It's a beautiful day outside today, so today's the day I'm going to tackle that project. So let me show you what the table looks like and then let's get started. So here is a look at the table. It's actually one that I made a while back, but it's not really being used right now, so I thought it would be perfect in this space, but it sticks out a little too far, so I want to make it a much slimmer table. So I'm going to take it outside and get to work. The legs are attached with screws from the top of the table, so I thought I would use my Sawzall, cut off the screws and go from there. But my metal blade for my Sawzall, I think we broke it last time, so that wasn't working. So I got out my jigsaw, but the metal blades for that were just way too short. So basically I rocked the legs back and forth until I had them loosened up enough that I could pull them off of the screws. This is definitely not the ideal way to do this, but it did work out in the end, so I'm fine with it because I was cutting that side of the table off anyway. But I'm definitely going to make a note to pick up some new blades. I'm just marking my table on where I want to make the cut, and then I'm going to use my circular saw to cut it down to size. Thing I did was move the table to a more level spot in the yard, and then I attached the legs to the table with screws. Using pocket holes would have been a much better way to attach the legs to the table. I don't have a Kreg jig. I'm sure there are other ways to create pocket holes, but I am definitely going to be picking one up. It is on my wish list, but it didn't really bother me just to use screws with this particular table. So then it was time to prep the table for paint, so I just used my palm sander. Since I'm working outside, I thought it would be fun to include a few photos from around the yard, and so here are just a couple, and then I will include several more at the end of the video if you would like to see how our flower beds are looking right now. They still have a lot of growing to do, but I thought it would be fun to kind of share some of those, so they are at the end of this video. To paint this table, I started by painting the top a pretty shade of gray called chipped granite, but I didn't particularly like it on this table, so I ended up painting the top black. Initially, I had thought about leaving the legs the color that they were, but I chose to go ahead and paint them bright white, and I'm really happy that I did because I am loving this little table now, and I think it goes perfectly in my kitchen. So after the paint had dried, which did not take very long, it was very warm and windy this day, I just took some scrap sandpaper and went around the table legs to rough them up just a little bit and let some of the wood show through to give them more of a rustic and distressed farmhouse style look. So after I cleaned up some of my mess, I took the table inside and put it in place, and I am loving it in this spot. It is very slim. I think it's only 9 inches in depth, but I love it. It gives me that little extra spot to decorate, but it's not going to end up a catch-all because you just can't put that much on top of the table. So I thought a tray would be perfect on this table, so I'm using one that I updated last year, and if you'd like to see that video, I will have it linked in the description below. I also thought a vase of fresh flowers would be the perfect addition to this table as well, and I'm using a really pretty vase. I believe I got it at Goodwill a few years ago. Somebody spent a lot of time decorating this vase. They etched it, and they also hand painted some really pretty designs, and I love this vase for spring and summer. So now I'm going to go look around the yard and see what I can find to fill it up with. So I filled my vase with water and then added a lilac bloom. My lilacs are just about done for the year, so I had to kind of search for one that looked really good. And then I also added in some penstemon, which is one of my favorite plants, and some iris. And I think this little bouquet or arrangement turned out really pretty for just finding a few random things from my yard. happy with how the table turned out. I think it fits perfectly in this space. I'll probably change the decor up here and there, but for right now I'm gonna leave it like this and enjoy the fresh flowers from my garden. But I hope you enjoyed seeing this project and this video, and thanks for watching. So now I'm going to include some photos from around my yard. This was a new flower bed back in 2019. I didn't do a lot to it last year, but I did transplant a few things. That was a couple weeks ago, and now it's looking like this. So things are starting to bloom and grow on for the season, and I think it's looking so pretty, but it is a work in progress, but all of my flower beds are. But I thought I would go ahead and include what's looking pretty in the yard right now. If you're new to my channel, I share a lot of budget-friendly DIY home and lifestyle content, and if you like that sort of thing, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up to let me know. I'd really appreciate it, and I would love it if you hit subscribe and hung around. I hope you enjoyed this video and seeing the different photos from around my yard, and thanks for watching.